mistakes over and over again, expecting things to change, and then watching them get really angry when the obvious conclusion occurs.
Why have you brought us all the way up here? What is so secret? Expected call from MRPD. Come down to office, accept your charge.
Well, I don't want anyone
Even
to see.
had lawyer lined up to assist with what is happening.
Who is the lawyer?
Does not matter. Came here alone.
Very good. Okay.
Have questions regarding charges warden sent.
Absolutely.
Why
So,
is 2 times murder? There was only 1.
okay. Look, I brought you here because I don't know the full extent of your conditions. I don't know if you wish to remain with this alias, and they are always watching. So, perhaps I'm being extra cautious, but I rather be. Rather than expect you to come down to the marshal's office or someone could be listening and whatnot. Let me pull this up. Oh, yeah. All right. All right. So, you're only aware of one of the individuals, huh?
There was only 1. Duh.
Okay.
You were saying that there were more individuals hurt during these exercises.
Correct. I'm going to bump that down to accessory attempted degree murder. So I'll go through these charges and don't feel like you can't challenge these. These were put together based on our conversation and the that is correct. Yep. So the first is the obvious resisting, right?
That is common. There's no contest.
Yes. And then we've got the attempted first degree murder of Leo.
Mr. Arnold.
Correct. Then there is going to be the the accessory to attempted first degree murder. This is the individual whom was with Leo and was shot down, and where Leo was then, or Arnold was then taken. Now, the reason why it's accessory is I do believe you, based on your statements previously, that you may not have had knowledge that this other individual was hurt, but to the totality of the circumstances, starting with the initial kidnapping with left one individual shot, bullet through right nearly through his brain. We don't even know if he's going to survive. It becomes accessory. You then have the possession of the tampered firearm, which comes back with your fingerprints.
Wait.
And then,
What firearm? There was no firearm. There was only grapple gun.
oh, yes. So while we were talking, a firearm was recovered at the hay bin. You know, the little where he was shot? Right behind the hay bin was a firearm. I'll tell you exactly what firearm it is in a second here. Let me just hit the save button. That firearm not only is a GC19X coming back with DNA 284090578798, of which comes back to state ID 1640. Casings coming back to that same set of bullets surrounding the shot individual. I don't work with law enforcement that gives up easily. And just for clarity, this DNA match is also fresh, meaning that the time frame in which, from the time it was taken to the time of the shooting, it is within the bandwidth of 1 to 2 hours. Any fingerprint older than 2 hours would be, the DNA string would not be as clear. So. And then extending this further, so that kind of ties you to the attempted first-degree murder. As you stated here, I will drop one of the attempted first-degree murders down to accessory, because I kind of believe you here that you did not have immediate knowledge of the second individual. And then you've got the first-degree possession of a firearm component and attachment. That is going to be for the extended magazine that was in the GC19X.
Understand these charges.
Yeah.
Will tell you that had no knowledge of Mr. Arnold's companion getting shot.
I believe you. And then finally, we have aiding and abetting enemy of the state. Two reasons for this. One is you not only enacted a action on the behest of the faceless, either directly or indirectly, but it was further compounded with the fact that you had on your possession a chip utilized for communication with the faceless network, one of which we have obtained a few times over and have analyzed. We know these are not freely available. With that having been said, you have been cut off. I know they cut you off. Now, I'm willing to work with you on that charge because to a degree, I believe that you may have longer term goals. But my fear is that if I give you the leniency and say, okay, well, maybe you fucked up and maybe you had, you know, like there's not, outside of your statements to me and your cooperation, I don't really have any evidence that you were infiltrating them. You didn't give me a heads up. You didn't have a CI. You didn't work with a law enforcement officer that's authorized to work with the CI. Give us heads up, because that's typically how it works, right? Hey, I want to infiltrate this thing, Mr. Officer. And while we can't stop you, at least we have prior knowledge of your involvement, thus making it easier for us to say, okay, well, you don't have the intent to work with them. You have the intent to work against them, right? But the issue too is that if I don't give you this charge, I question also, like, let's say I say, you know what? I'm going to trust her here and say maybe she did intend to infiltrate. And I'm 50-50 on that, if I'm going to be honest. But if I don't give you this charge, then am I, you know, are you not then going to get put in danger?
Charge is needed for cover, regardless.
Exactly.
Whether you believe or not is irrelevant. Place your charges. It must happen.
Okay. How do you plead to these charges?
We'll not plead guilty, but we'll accept between you and Molotov. We don't have understanding about these charges and accept them, but him not pleading guilty to these things for the benefit of co-conspirators.
Understood. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask that in future, if you do plan to do something like this, I would like you to contact me, whether it's payphone. We can meet up in person. Now,
Mr. Knight, that is good suggestion, but you are not trustworthy. You have too many fingers in too many pots.
I'm the only one you can trust. I want you to look around you. You don't have New Babylon. You probably barely have SMEHDI after all of this. The individuals that you committed these crimes with are going to be likely questioning every decision you make beyond. Law enforcement, most of them are in it for themselves. And I at least have a history of protecting folks. Now, I can tell you this. You're not the only individual I work with on a number of fronts. And as with any other individual I work with, there's only 2 individuals that have access to the documents that go into details as to what someone is doing. And that other individual knows that if that information ever got out, they will be losing their position.
There's definitely some gratitude to your subterfuge. Assumptions you make, some are leading in areas that are incorrect, some she think that you have possibility for greatness.
The unfortunate thing of working in in law enforcement is most people don't really speak to us. So we are forced to work with the evidence that is right in front of us. And from there, we have to make presumptions in order to ascertain what may happen next. I mean, even ask yourself the question, do you know what their plans are? There's what they tell you, and then there's what happens. I don't think anyone truly knows.
Now this is correct. Do not know what it is that they truly desire, merely what they say their end goals are. But their end goals do not align with what Molotov wants for the people of Los Santos.
What is it that Molotov wants?
This is a tricky question. Molotov has only recently been able to self-determinate.
Interesting. I'm not going to hold you to this, but I do recommend in future, try to keep me appraised, because after enough time goes by, the risk more squarely falls on your shoulders. And I don't believe any one person, one department, one set of people is going to take them down, or at least slow them enough that we can survive.
Molotov is not alone in this world.
I think even if you took all those individuals, it won't be enough. I think that's where I'm sure you're aware of the besties' involvement. I think that's where they're failing right now. It's where New Babylon failed as well. Every single group believes that they themselves have what it takes to take down the Faceless. The besties, they think they can just shoot them, as if that's going to do anything. They have more assault units than they'll ever imagine. Hell, if they manage to put a bullet in Charlie, another one will appear. Charlie's not the first, nor is he the last in that position. I can tell you that over the last 3 months, we probably can account for about 45 different bodies of not just random individuals, but their upper echelon, right? Even Mr. Blue, he's just another man. There's many of them. Then you've got New Babylon. They too tried to mass recruit. I mean, they took on Edgar de Castillo and they tried to fight the Faceless, and they got bombarded over and over and over again. And then you have the marshals and the handful of cops that are willing to try to stop the Faceless. And you know what happens to us every other time? We're sitting in a pile of metal set ablaze after getting attacked by whatever fucking fighter jet is next. Now, don't get me wrong. There has been some successes over the last month, 2 months. But those successes, even though they may be better than the many months prior, still is not enough.
What do you think Bestie's goal is in this?
Depends who you ask. I think Forehead has some common sense. I think he wants to survive. I think Miguel thinks that his end game is you shoot Charlie and it's over. You shoot Mr. Blue and it's over. He's delusioned. And I think the rest just sort of
Who do you think
follows
is calling the shots to Mr. Blue?
The Faceless are just... You're asking me, who is Mr. Blue getting instructions from?
Duh.
Nobody knows. However, what is clear is that Mr. Blue is only one of many. I've seen the ones with the black masks. I've seen the ones with the white masks. I've seen the ones with the green masks. There's many of them. The best we can tell is Mr. Blue is just the individual that operates in this city. But there are many others. And I think that they get their instructions from Nest and other investors as well. I don't think anyone will ever fully know what that network looks like because that network extends well beyond San Andreas. This is just an investment to them. A third world country that's being used to garner all its resources.
Is that what you think? They want resources.
It's not what I think, it's what I know. Are you aware about the investors and the debt we owe them? The very corporations that have their signage all throughout San Andreas, they opened these gates three years ago, and they're expecting their money back. The Faceless are simply an arm for some number of them. Same with Darkstone. Same with every other entity that we have yet to uncover.
Darkstone. I am familiar with Darkstone. You have given Molotov much to mull over. There are things that you are on right track, and there are things that you do not yet understand. Benefit of Molotov not working with police is easier to blend with illegal operations.
Look, I think unlike, may not seem this way, but I don't really believe I know everything. But I can at least try to understand it. And I'm not...
It's good. You have information Molotov did not know, filled in blanks, but also can see where you are being misled. Is very interesting.
What am I wrong about? Help me understand.
Cannot give you that information. However, as we move forward, there will be opportunities. Maybe Molotov call you from payphone and say something and hang up.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and cut you this bill.
It's fine.
There you go.
Hurts. Is large bill very steep. However, Molotov's predecessor left the bank account rather full.
All right. Well, hopefully over
Mr.
time.
Knight. Going forward, Molotov may be caused into actions that seem contrary to what we have discussed, and you will have choice. You will have to choose faith. If you do not choose faith, Molotov, understand, is part of your job, but hoping you will choose faith in future.
I always choose faith.
Domineist, Vera. I have faith.
Okay.
Besties in Babylon are more entangled than you think.
I'm very aware. Believe it or not.
Some things you say Molotov suspect is lie to cover what you truly know.
I'm law enforcement after all. I can't reveal my entire hand.
Same goes from opposite side. We'll leave you now to your thoughts.
You stay safe.
Yeah.
How you doing, Perry?
I'm doing good. I have a question.
Mm.
Was you serious?